Good evening. The Who's today were on at Canterbury Park, and it didn't play Park. The track played very fair, very fair. Um, the track was good. The rail was 6 metres out, and there was a very light nor'easter, and it didn't have any effect. And there was no bias on the track. You could lead on the fence and win, or you could come from behind, as the only 5 runners in the first race, as the winner in the first did. But of course, the talk there today was how fly-blown the old game is. It's just completely and utterly, you know what. You know, we've tried to explain to the people running this game, and don't worry, you've got the great TAB to fall on. They'll keep you afloat. You take away a handful of captains and a handful of grumble and grunters in this race, in this game, and the house of cards just fall down. They just completely fall down. Betfair is just struggling. They'll be out of business soon. Of course, they can't keep on going in Sydney. And of course, nobody will be able to find their way home without Betfair. And what's going to happen here? Today, of course, the pros had a holiday. They weren't playing. One of the pros who did play, he only played for 3 races, and in the third race, he had an extra large plate of the winner, and he said, "That'll do me. I'm going out of my cruiser on the harbour for a nice swim." So, and for the rest of the day, the captains, we were all looking at ourselves playing a handful of retired card players. Oh, there's no one there. The TAB's put all the grumble and grunters out of business. And we're out there betting losing figures every race. It's just gone. It's just gone. The first race, we only gave 97%. It'd be very easy to give the flux here without driving everybody mad all day, because there's only about 2 runners, 3 runners in every race. Sydney racing, but once upon a time there at Canterbury, isn't it great? There used to be 9 races at Canterbury every Wednesday afternoon. The fields, the biggest fields you've ever seen, and every Saturday used to rock up. But now the provincials and all the country meetings out wide at Moree and Taree and Port Macquarie and Coffs Harbour, and they've got 100 runners in every race. But in Sydney, they've got 4 runners in every race. We all know what the problem is, but the people running it, they're doing a great job. The TAB, as I say, don't worry, it'll keep you afloat. It'll keep you afloat. Don't worry about the tab. The tabs, it'll put everybody out of business. They won't have anyone to bet with shortly. Now, race 1, as I say, there was 97% in the first race given on track in the marketplace. These were the flux. The King of Olympia, it went from $4 out to $5.50, back into 5, but not really back because of the bad figures. The opening favourite, Monoblazic, it went from $3 out to $4.40, believe it or not, back into about $3.80. Burner, it went from $6 out to $7.50. Excited Prince, $4 out to $4.60, back into $3.80, back to $4. And the winner, Express Power, from about a opening equal favourite at $3, got out to as much as $4.80 at the death, and it came down the outside in a field of 5, easing off heels to get the money. We all saw it being held up. It settled down in last position in the early part of the race. The winner, the second horse, Excited Prince, but it was he had no alternative, Nathan Berry, to slide up on the fence, and unfortunately for him, he was held in a pocket just at a vital stage, and it was enough to lose his momentum, and the winner had its momentum up, and the margin was only 0.3 of a length. They were by far the best 2 runs in the race. Run the race again, and the second horse most probably wins. So those who backed it were unlucky not to collect, and the other 3 runners went fairly poorly. In race 2, we only gave 99% in this race in the marketplace. These were the flux, say 100. Cinder Rock and Roller went from $3.50 out to $3.80 into $3.70 back out to $3.80. D. Chamique, well, it never had a price. D. Chamique, it was about a 7 to 2, $4.60 chance out to $11 or $12 even, but at least 11. This favourite, Alcaraz, who I must admit I thought was an absolute bird. It opened up $1.90 and it got out to as much as 2.30, but started 2.25. And well, I'll go through the flux first. Ward, it went from 15 out to 26 back into 21. The winner, Fullerton, 21 out to 26 back into 21, back to 26. And Liechtenstein was $7 out to 7.50 back into $6. And unfortunately for favourite backers here, well, we all knew that Cinder Rockenrella couldn't win, and the betting told you that D. Chamique couldn't win, and the other, and Liechtenstein, well, we all knew it couldn't win, and the two resumers, Ward and Fullerton, we all knew they couldn't win. So I left you with these are good judges, but what fools we are. Of course, Fullerton has won the race, resuming from a spell. The favourite, not only did it pull up acutely lame in one of its hind legs, but the story is that it also might have fractured its pelvis. So unfortunately, it could be the end of that Neddy Alcaraz, who looked to be very promising after his last win at Gosford. It led Cinder Rockenrella, appeared to run along fast, but it wasn't really. Sitting on the south side, D. Chamique, and the winner just sucked up behind him, and the other three were well behind it, and it held on too well to beat Liechtenstein. That was about the race. Race 3. Well, this was that. There was late scratching in this race. Centre Pivot, who threw itself down in the race day stalls, and after when that happened, it was when it was scratched, it was a $10 chance. After the scratching of the $10 chance, we had about 106 on our boards. These were the flux. Zokolos went from even after the scratching was still $7, $6 out to 7. Divine Calling, the favourite, it fluctuated, opened up $3.20, got out to $3.70 and $3.60, plenty of it, but it came into $3.40 at one stage, but got back out to start $3.50. Anasheed, it was backed from at one stage they took the $3.80. It was into $3.60, but got out to $4. The next runner was a rank outsider, 30 out to $70. Bonaventura. Impulse, it was $8 out to 10, back into about 9. Watling, it was backed $8 out to $9 or $10, back into $8.50. Guest of Power, it was $6 out to $13 at the death you could have got, and Miss Twin Peaks was $12 out to 16, and going straight to the front and running along at a nice pace was Zokolos. It finished up running second last. The rider and trainer suggesting it was ridden, it wasn't suited by leading. Chasing it all the way was the winner, Divine Calling, and it was off the bit coming to the turn, and in one stride, the pumper who was on board, he looked down as if there was something amiss, but he kept on pushing Divine Calling along with those great hands of his, and it was able to get past Zokolos turning for home and held off. It held off Guest of Power, who was to be ridden back today, and it went back to about third last position and sailed down the outside to be beaten 0.8 of a length. The winner and the second horse were the best runs in the race. Race 4, we only had about 96% in this race. These were the flux. Divine Moon went from about a $12 chance out to 17 or even longer. Multi went from an $8 chance out to 13. Cleansing Ale, 8 out to 11. Car Catch Me, well, it was $3.50 out to $3.80, back into $3.50, back out to about $3.80 at least, or if not $4 towards the finish. Fast Folk was 13 out to 15. Subtitle was $5 out to $7 taken into 650, but got back to 7. Cocoa Miss, $11 out to 13 taken into about 11 or 12. And Rock Magic, now the winner, this was by far the best back runner in the race. They most probably would have returned it $3.80. You could still get $4 on the fence when they jumped, but it opened up $4. Its opening quote and starting price the same, but it got out to as much as $6. They killed you for the 6, $5.50, $4.80, the $4.60, $4.40, $4.20. The $4 was very hard to get towards the end of betting. I laid it at $4 and had a losing result on this race. You couldn't escape it. And the bottom one, Call Me Ismail, was 16 out to 26, back into about 21. And the winner here, Rock Magic, it went straight to the lead. I thought that just looking early in the race that Car Catch Me, ridden by Catwalk Corey Brown, could have actually gone to the lead, but he didn't. He was quite content to let the winner slide up on his inside, Rock Magic, and he sat on the outside of Attorney for Home, where the winner hung, but didn't cause any interference. They were all under pressure, chasing it, and it was left up to Maltai, who copped a bit of a check at the start and settled down in last position on the fence, to have an interrupted run along the fence to be beaten one length by the winner. Getting trapped wide in this race was Cleansing Ale, and so its run can be a bit overlooked. It fought on fairly well. The winner seemed to, it was a big winner at Scone, beating a team of fairly ordinary horses up there, but it was a strong win at Scone, and it proved it today. Race 5, well, we only had 96% here in the marketplace. These were the flux. Cool Claim, which I suppose should have got the cash, except for if the run would have appeared and ridden by Sean Geimer, if he would have been able to slide up on the fence when looking for a run before the turn, which generally happens when with tail enders. They can generally get inside runners because the runners are easing off the fence, but it didn't appear for him, and he got onto heels, and it wasn't until they levelled out in the straight that he was able to keep on sliding along the fence and then ease off heels to only fail by 0.1 of a length. He only needed more or less one more stride to gain victory, but it didn't happen. These were the flux. Cooper Claim went from $4 out to $6.50, very easy in the betting. Southern Sky was $13 out to 15, taken back into 14. Al's Gold, 12 out to 26, taken into 21. Survey Moss, who started favourite at Pulled Up Lane, had every possible chance. It ran last. It opened up a $3.50 chance, got out to $4.60. Very hard to lay Survey Moss, beaten 6.6 lengths. It sat in 5th position. Black Jag copped a little bit of a check in the, or held up slightly, but it had its chance. It was $8 out, $8.50 into $7.50, back out to $8.50, but it started $8 or even $7.50. The next one was Scratch Dolphy's Boy. It was 12 out to $14. Knockabout, hard to lay, $6 out to $8, taken back into $7.50. Flying Fuji, 17 to 21. Almahar backed, 15 out to 17 into 14, very well supported. And then we got to the winner, who was the best back runner in the race, stablemate of Cool Claim and also Black Jag, and it was Trick Shot. Going straight to the lead in this race was Knockabout, who led all the way last start at Canterbury, and sitting on its outside was Dolphy's Boy, who also led at Canterbury last start. Leading in the first part of the race before they hit the winning post was the winner, Trick Shot, but then the other two moved up, and ridden by terrific Tommy Berry, he was able to find the fence and let the other two go around him. He sat on the fence behind the two leaders, getting a pearler of a run, and when they turned for home, the Dolphy's Boy it dropped off, and it was very easy for Trick Shot to get around the leader's heels and set up a winning break. But as I said, Cool Claim, who came from last on the fence, being held up, costing at the race before the turn, should have got the chocolates, and the leader, Dolphy's Boy, it held on for third hole. They raced in pairs. They all had their chance except Kua Claim. Race 6, now it was very skinny here, as was the last. We didn't come home very strong. We offered bad losing prices in the last two races. 94% only in race 6, but by the same token, this was a huge result for the captains. A huge result. The opening favourite, Hippopus, gave all the bookies nearly a skinner. It opened up. We only put it up at $2. We knew this would get home, and we knew what was going to happen. Of course, we knew nobody would like it. Hadn't raced for 42 days, and it had the plague. The punters fell for the 3-card trick here. We put it up a $2.70 chance, Hippopus, knowing nobody would fall into it, and we got it out to $5. It was 7-4 to 4s, Hippopus, and it got the chocolates. Mottled, its chances were ruined at the start when the rider nearly was dislodged when it went down on its nose. It was $4 out to $6.50. The next runner, who finished up running second and having every possible chance, Commangy, well, it opened up $7, got to $7.50, but it only started $4. It started the Avery. We all stood it for plenty. Perfect Weapon, it was 13 out to 17. Daruna, $7 to $7.50 back into about a $6.50 chance, or even 7. Sir Denzel, 15 out to 17. Dolphus, 11 out to 12. Triple King, well backed at one stage, $8 out to 11, taken into about 9, but started $13. And Zucotto, well, it was well back. Zucotto, it was $26 into about a $17 chance, 25s into 16s. And when they went out the straight the first time, Triple King, who pulled up fairly ordinary with a poor recovery rate and hanging on its rider, the rider saying it also felt flat and his saddle slipped slightly, it went straight to the lead. And coming across and sitting on its outside early in the piece was Commangy. But then when they were just getting into the back straight, and Hippopus, the winner, when they went out the straight, it was third behind the pair, tailing them into the back straight. And when they were starting to level out in the back straight, Hippopus got up on the outside of Commangy, and the leader, Triple King, started to hang under pressure, and terrific Tommy Berry, he took Hippopus up 3 wide and went on and found the lead, and Commangy was able to get inside Triple King, and that's the way they raced down the back straight with Hippopus leading. And once it found the money, it was travelling fairly well, and you knew it was going to be hard to beat. It dropped off very quickly, Triple King. It ran last, beaten 15.1 lengths, and getting the charmer was the well-backed Commangy, but it couldn't make up the ground on the winner, Hippopus, and was beaten 1.5 lengths. And after, as I say, stumbling very badly at the start and settling down in third last position, having to ease off heels before the turn and come wide on the bend, was Mottled, and it made up a lot of ground down the outside, only beaten 3 lengths. I wonder if it jumped and it got into 4th hole on the fence, where it most probably would have settled. It might have, for all we might know, got the cash. But if you never know, if you never go, you'll never know, whatever they say. So maybe it might have. I'm going to. I haven't priced them yet, but I'll see what I come up with. It might have won the race, Mottled. Now we got to the last race, and again the figures were very poor. Only 92% given. These were the flux. Doublet, $15 out to 31. The winner, a complete skinner for bookies. Annabelle's $4.60 out to $8, 7 and 2 to 7s, double its price. Midnight Mix, $4.60 out to $6 given, back into $5.50. Runaway, I think it was backed early at $10, but it started 13, 8 out to 10, taken into 9, but back to 13. Grand Cooler, the Avery, $3.50 out to $4 killed for, even later at $3.80, but I was $4 when they jumped. In Top Gear, at one stage you could lay at $12. I even laid at 11, but I was $15 when they jumped. A Holy Thread, it was labelled at $26, started 20. Material Matters, extremely well back from $9 into $7, hard to get. And also very well back was Shade of Green from $12 into also $7, very hard to get. They raced in pairs. Annabelle's led on the fence. A few of these runners, like Midnight Mix, Grand Cooler, went around in the same race at Gosford last start, and Annabelle's won the race and got the cash again. It led, double it, sat on its outside, right on the fence behind a Shade of Green, having every possible chance. Grand Cooler also having every possible chance, the favourite in the 1-1. Then we had Midnight Mix from Barrier 1 on the fence. On its outside, Runaway. Directly behind Midnight Mix was In Top Gear. On its outside, Material Matters. And running last was Holy Thread, who made up some ground down the outside. But the winner had enough kick in it to kick on the turn, shifted away from the fence slightly, and easing off the fence, having an uninterrupted run, was Midnight Mix, who finished up running second, beaten 0.8 of a length, and coming from third last down the outside, finding line well, Material Matters, beaten 1.6. They all had their chance in the last race. That was about it. But as I said, the game, the signs are becoming more evident every meeting we go to, and people running this game, we've got the carnival coming up. We all saw, and it was reported in the press, what a poor crowd there was for the opening of the Slipper Carnival at Rose Hill last week, and we're heading into this, of course, opening of the new grandstand at Randwick. I heard some rumours today about how the betting ring is going to be, what the story is going to be there. They were selling tickets for the meeting today to anybody who wanted to buy them. I suppose they'll be snapped up. There are going to be 2,000 members, and of course, who are going to be looking after the members? There are going to be 3 robots. How in the hell could the members possibly bet with them? They're going to take in. They've only got to come into the marketplace, and we're going to have the retired card players who we had there today at Canterbury, plus I suppose the pros betting with us, and there are going to be 3 or 4 robots handling the members. Well done, boys, well done. You're looking after the members. You're selling them the odds at very, very poor rates. Good evening.